Wine went inside and found Jay had spilled all the chocolate made on himself. When he looked at her, he laughed awkwardly and cupped his own cheeks with his dirty hands. Wine chuckled at his little tries of not making her angry. Wine, what did you do, huh? It was to drink. Jay, but it spilled itself. He pouted and she grabbed the tissues, telling the maids she'll handle it when they came to clean. The whole day, they both had so much fun. One was really loving this little fluff ball. He was cute, and he talked cute. He acted cute. She simply loved him. While fixing the room, she noticed how there was not a single picture of Jungkook's ex-wife. Did he hate her that much? Was he that much over the whole marriage thing? No wonder. He hated the idea of spending time with her. Later in the evening, when he returned from office, he found Vine and Jay laying on the couch. He was wrapped around her like a koala. They were eating a chocolate, sharing with each other, while laughing at something they were watching on the phone. Jay, Daddy! He got up quickly, opening his arms for Jungkook, who picked him up, showering him with love and affection. And Vine wondered how it must feel to win him over. Vine, are you tired? Would you like something? Jungkook, I can take it if I need something, he said, ignoring her, and Vine found her hit straight to her heart. Jungkook, how's my champ? Jay, I did boxing with Mama. He raised his brow and looked at Vine once, who shrugged and sat up. Jay, she's good. She will beat you, he whispered, and Vine choked. Jungkook, did Mama say that? The little boy innocently shook his head. Vine rolled her eyes. Vine, I would have said it on your face, by the way. She left the kitchen, and Jungkook stood there shocked. He played with Jay a little till his tutor came and the kids started to study. Jungkook left to his room and found Vine fixing the sheets. She didn't look at him, nor try to make any conversation, and somehow he didn't like it, even though it was what he wanted. Jungkook, what else did you do the whole day? Vine, ah, didn't you ask him that? Maybe. I went around telling him I'm scheming against his father. But of course, I won't tell you that if you ask me. Jungkook, what happened to you suddenly? Vine, nothing. I'm just minding my business, like you wanted me to. Come down and eat. I'll set the table. She started walking away, and Jungkook grabbed her wrist. She pulled it away harshly and glared at him. Jungkook, what's wrong with you? Vine, what's wrong with me? Seriously, you're asking me that after treating me like shit. Vine, for your information, Mr. John, I was forced into this wedding too. I left my home, my independence, my dreams to become a second wife and raise a child, which I clearly have no problem. but I thought I would have this much right to ask for affection in return. Ryan, was it too much? You should have told me first you were bringing me here to throw me in a corner. No one deserves that. Whatever you went through with your first wife is not my fault, and you can't punish me for that. She glared at him, but all he saw in her eyes was pain. She stormed out of the room, and Jungkook couldn't say another word. It was hard for him to trust again and be left heartbroken. He knew what he was doing with Ryan was wrong, but he was simply scared to trust again. When he went downstairs, he saw Jay studying with his teacher in a room, and Ryan was setting the table with the help of maids. Taking care of his home and his child, he could hire someone too, but she was his wife. He needed to treat her like one. Ryan, eat something. You must be hungry after a whole tiring day. He quietly walked towards her and took her hand. Jungkook, can you leave us alone? The maids left, and Ryan looked at him surprised. Jungkook, I'm sorry. Ryan, it's okay. I know you don't want things to repeat. I can understand. Jungkook, you're right. You don't deserve that. You're not responsible for what happened to me. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I'll try not to hurt you again. I'll give this a second chance. If you need anything, just tell me. I'll bring it to you. Just don't hurt Jay. Ryan, I don't need anything, Jungkook. I got married. Every girl has 1,000 dreams when they get married. I didn't mean to be rude back then, but I thought I would have to live like this forever, without a husband. Jungkook exhaled and pulled back a chair for her. She smiled and took a seat. Jungkook, you have a husband. That's me. You have a problem, you tell me. Someone troubles you, you tell me. I'll protect you. She looked at him for a few seconds, then looked down. Was it how it felt to have a man in your life? She nodded and served Jungkook, then herself, and the two ate up without fighting anymore. Jungkook asked her about her likings and dislikes, and she did the same. They talked about routine, and he told her a few things about his business and employees. They started bonding. Jungkook, I was thinking maybe we should go for the beach. Jay wanted to. Why? But you didn't want to, she said, taking dishes back to kitchen. Jungkook, that, well, Jay wants, so I cannot say no to him, right? He awkwardly cleared his throat and Wine chuckled. Wine, yeah, sure, as you say. He rolled his eyes and left. Wine only laughed more. Is it how he was in general, if he didn't hate you? Caring and protective. She continued her job and he returned, taking her wrist, and dragged her back to room. Jungkook, why are you working? What are the maids for? Wine. That's not even work. I do it when I get bored. Jungkook, you have a husband and son to give your time to. What's boring in that? He entered the room and found Jay jumping on the bed. Jay, Mama, Daddy said we are going to beach. Ryan, really? That's so good. We'll build a castle. Jay, and we'll see sharks. Ryan, sharks? But I'm afraid of sharks. She walked up to him. He wrapped his tiny arms around her waist. Jay, it's okay. I will protect Mama. Ryan's heart melted at that, and she kissed his cheeks. She knew he was already becoming a great part of her life. Jungkook, yeah, you can hit its nose and it will run away. Jay, yes, I will punch the shark. Ryan, no, that doesn't work. Seriously, Jungkook, you can't feed him with that. Jungkook, alright, go sleep or no beach tomorrow. Jay screamed and jumped down the bed and ran away to his room while saying good night to both of them. Ryan chuckled and made sure his caretaker took him away before she closed the door and turned towards Jungkook, who had changed up into comfortable night clothes. She went to change as well, but he held her wrist and pulled her back on bed. Jungkook, since I had problems yesterday, can we treat tonight like our wedding night? He tucked her hair behind her ear, and she curled her toes and nodded. Jungkook, change up. I'll wait. She instantly went to change, and Jungkook got in bed, deciding a movie to watch together. He decided to give this relation a chance, and so far, he was not regretting at all. Mine was different. She found peace in family instead of money. She came in her night robe and got on bed as well. Jungkook, is that fine? He asked about the movie and she nodded. He played it and lay down, so did Wine. They both glanced at each other often, in between. Wine gathered some courage and moved near him, getting in his arms, which he wrapped around her without a complaint, his hand playing with her hair, and she smiled, loving everything. She was going to win his heart. She believed it. She found him sleeping in the middle of the movie and chuckled quietly, turning off the TV. Just a little movement woke him up. Ryan, oh, I'm sorry. You slept, so I was just turning it off. Jungkook, I did? Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Ryan, it's okay. He turned towards her and wrapped his arm around her again, watching her up this close, feeling warmth in his heart. Jungkook, don't you regret marrying a man who already has a 4-year-old child when you could have any handsome, well settled man who would love you without any fear? Ryan, you're handsome and well settled too. About Jay, I really love him already. I'll never treat him like any lesser than my own blood. And about your fear, then you promised me to give it a try, didn't you? Jungkook, yeah, I did. I'll do my best. He kissed her forehead and pulled her against his chest, and the two slept with a lot of hope and love for the future.